Okay, so I have said this before. Siri has been in dire need of an upgrade for years, and every year Apple kind of teases that Siri is going to get better, and every year I'm like, sure, okay, we'll see. But this year, with iOS 27, I'm actually paying attention because the leaks coming ahead of WWDC, which is happening on June 8th, are kind of wild. So I wanted to walk you through what's supposedly coming so you know what to expect when Apple takes the stage. WWDC hasn't happened yet. All of this is from leaks, mostly from Mark Gurman at Bloomberg, who is usually pretty spot on with Apple stuff. So nothing here is officially confirmed, but this is what we are hearing. Okay, so the first thing, the way Siri actually looks on your iPhone is changing completely. You know that big glowing orb that takes over your whole screen? It's gone. And instead, Siri is moving into the dynamic island. So when you hold the side button or use the wake word, the dynamic island lights up with a little prompt that says search or ask. There is a glowing cursor and a subtle glow around the edge of the island, and that's it. It's not taking over the entire screen anymore. And when Siri answers you, it shows a transparent card right under the island with the results. If you want to go deeper, you swipe down on that card and it opens into what basically looks like an iMessage thread, like a real conversation. You can scroll up and see what you asked before, and you can keep going back and forth. Which brings me to the second big thing. There is going to be a dedicated Siri app, a whole standalone app like how ChatGPT and Gemini have their own apps. You can open it, see your chat history, start new conversations, and supposedly even upload files for it to read and summarize. So if Apple actually ships this the way it's being described, Siri stops being this thing that you summon for 10 seconds and forget about, and it actually becomes a real assistant that you can come back to. Okay, so we have known this for a while now. The new Siri is going to be powered by Google's Gemini under the hood, as in Google's AI, inside Apple's assistant. Bloomberg says Apple signed a multi-year deal with Google for a custom version of Gemini that's specifically tuned for Apple. It runs on Apple's private cloud compute servers, so in theory, your data is still private and Apple controlled. But Gemini is doing the actual thinking. And honestly, I have mixed feeling about this. On one hand, Apple promised a smarter Siri at WWDC 2 years ago, and they've missed every single deadline since. So if partnering with Google is finally what gets us Siri that works fine, I'll take it. But on the other hand, this is Apple admitting that they could not catch up on AI on their own, which is kind of a big deal for a company that loves to talk about how everything is made in-house. Before we move on, I want to give a shout out to Hedra for sponsoring this part of the video. So Hedra is a creative agent, and honestly, I didn't expect it to be this powerful. The whole idea is simple. You just upload a photo, describe what you want, and it turns it into a full video. But not just basic animation. It actually looks realistic. You can ask for cinematic shots, different angles, even something like a drone shot, and it just builds it. What really impressed me is how much control you have. I can literally take a photo of a product that I already have just taken on a desk and describe a scene, and it'll generate both images and videos around it. So the same product can look like it's in a studio shoot, outdoors, or in a lifestyle setup without me actually filming anything. And it goes beyond visuals too. It can generate audio, sound effects, even add text directly into the video or image. So you're not just creating visuals, you're basically building a full piece of content in one place. And the craziest part, even unrealistic ideas like something you wouldn't normally be able to shoot can turn that into something that actually looks believable. Hedra is also a creative partner. You can describe what you want, like a product ad, a social post, or even a full launch video, and it handles everything from visuals to formatting to adapting it for different platforms. You can even drop in a product page and it generates a full campaign with assets and copy. It feels more like you're directing a creative team just using prompts. For me, this is huge time saver, especially for B-roll, product shots, or even testing ideas before filming. If you're creating content regularly or even running a brand, this is one of those tools that can seriously speed up things. Use my code in the description to get 50% off on your first month. Now, let's get back to the video. Now, here's the feature that I'm actually most excited about. It's called extensions. Apple is apparently going to let you choose which AI handles your Siri requests. So if you don't want Gemini, you can plug in Claude or ChatGPT or whatever new AI shows up next year. You install the app, go into settings, pick your default. Siri becomes the front door, and whichever AI you trust the most becomes the brain behind it. I love this for two reasons. One, Apple isn't locking us into one AI, we actually get a choice. And two, it means as these models get better, Siri gets better automatically. You don't have to wait for an iOS update. Siri is also supposed to be way better at handling multi-step requests. Instead of saying, set a timer for 10 minutes, and then text a friend, and then play the song as 3 separate commands, you can chain them together. You can even have actual back and forth conversation. And it's supposed to understand what's on your screen. Like you can open a photo and say, what's in this picture? Or write a caption for it. And it just does it. Or you can look at an email and say, summarize this and remind me to reply tomorrow. Now, Apple promised this exact feature 2 years ago and never shipped it, so I will believe it when I see it. But this is supposedly the year it actually comes. 2 more things Siri is getting that I haven't talked about yet. The first is image generation. So if you're in the middle of a text and you want to send a quick custom image, you can just ask Siri to make one for you. No need to open a separate app. It uses Apple's image playground under the hood. And the second is web search, like actual ChatGPT style web search. So instead of Siri just throwing a list of links at you, it can read the web and give you an actual answer. So those annoying, I don't know about that, but here's what I found on web responses is hopefully gone. There's also a new system-wide gesture. Swipe down from your home screen and you get a search bar that's basically a prompt box. You can search your phone, ask Siri, or route it to whichever AI you picked. And here's the part that's kind of a big deal. This is actually replacing Spotlight entirely. So Siri search becomes the new way you find anything on your iPhone. Apps, files, contacts, settings, all of it. Spotlight, as we know it, is going away as well. But the one thing is, a lot of this will probably only work on the newer iPhones. Apple Intelligence right now only runs on iPhone 15 and up. So if you're on iPhone 14 or older, you might miss out on a lot of this. And on top of that, iOS 27 itself is rumored to drop support for iPhone 11 family and the second gen iPhone SE entirely. So if you're still rocking one of those, this might be your last iOS update. Okay, so that is Siri, but WWDC has a few more things worth knowing about. The Photos app is also getting some new AI editing tools. There is Extend, which fills in the edges of the photo when you crop it. Enhance, which auto-tweaks the lighting and colors for you, and Reframe, which lets you change the angle of a spatial photo after you have already taken it. Basically, Photoshop generative fill kind of stuff built right into Photos. The Shortcuts app might also get smart. It's one of my favorite apps already. You'll be able to describe a shortcut in plain English, like every morning at 8 a.m. send me a summary of my calendar. And AI will build a shortcut for you, which honestly fixes the biggest problem with shortcuts. Most people never use it because setting one up is just too fiddly. And then there is this wildcard everyone's been waiting on. Apple is reportedly going to give us our first real look at how iOS handles a foldable iPhone. Yeah. A foldable iPhone is happening and we actually know quite a bit about it already. It's supposed to be 5.5 inches when folded, so it just looks like a regular iPhone in your pocket, and it opens up to 7.8 inches like a book, and when it opens up, it actually looks like a mini iPad. You'll be able to run 2 apps side by side for the first time ever on an iPhone. Apps are also going to get sidebars to take advantage of all that extra screen. So WWDC could be where Apple shows us iOS 27 adapting to bigger folding screens for the very first time. The actual phone is rumored to launch in September. So Even if Siri is the headliner, there's a lot more going on with iOS 27 than just new features. I'll be watching the WWDC keynote live on June 8th and breaking it all down right after. So if you want my honest take on everything Apple announced, hit subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. This is Sanjana. Bye-bye.